Okay, this is Saturday, March 12th, 2011, and I'm just kind of scanning over these charts right now. I really can't give a complete analysis, until I see some movement on Sunday night. But we know that we had a lot going on Friday, and typically I don't trade much on Fridays personally because you see a lot of whipsaws and things like that. And if I do, most of the time it's very early in the morning, 4:30 a.m. to maybe 8 before the US market opens. And then I'm pretty much done by the time the US market opens. But anyways, I won't be giving a complete analysis until I see some movement on Sunday evening when the market opens, because there's just been so much going on yesterday with the earthquake and things in Japan that I'm not quite sure, and I don't see different patterns and things that I like to look for. But I'm going to, just for now, pick apart this 4-hour chart. But first of all, I wanted to show you on this is the daily chart here, okay, and okay, you'll have to excuse me, I have a cold, so I have to pause this every now and then. But we are still playing in the ABC long to the upside. Final target 44.18. But of course we know the market does not move in a straight line. So we're going to have pullbacks like we had. And I've been mentioning throughout last week the possibility of testing the 4-hour or the daily 50 EMA. And we have not done that yet. And price did rally later in the day on Friday. But I'm still not axing the idea that we could still test that daily 50 EMA here, the red EMA. That's still not out of the question. And let me just do something here. I want to take a look at something. Probably Sunday night this 50 EMA is going to move up. Maybe into the, right now it's sitting at 36.76. So the 50 EMA will probably move up to the 90 area, the 36.90 area, something like that come Sunday. And so that's not out of the question. And it may be a little tough trading Sunday. That's why I'll wait until I see some movement on Sunday in order to make a analysis. So for now I'm just kind of looking at some probabilities and possibilities. But we retraced 38.2% of this last swing low to swing high here. And we're resting on the 38.2. Well, we closed above the 38.2 or right on it and rallied up a bit. But like I said, testing this 50 EMA on the daily chart is not out of the question. Now looking at the 4-hour chart, this is the important thing here that I want to look at, just to give me a heads up for what I might be looking for come Sunday night. So we had a head and shoulders pattern to the downside. The thing I don't like, and I didn't really point this out, I gave other areas and reasons of why to short last week, but the reason I really didn't point this out is because I like a head and shoulders pattern for the right shoulder to be either be equal to the left shoulder or lower than the left shoulder. I become a little skeptical of them when the right shoulder is higher. It's just what I've seen throughout the years, how they work out compared to when the right shoulder is higher than the left shoulder. So that's just something that through the years I have a preference for, is for the right shoulder to be lower or equal to the left shoulder. But anyways, obviously that ended up playing out. And this channel trend line here, we have come through it and we've come back up through it, and I'm going to take that off there. To me, that's pretty much void. And let me go ahead and shrink this down a little bit, see what we have here. Right, C price came down through, now we're back up above, and let's get rid of that. It's just noise in our charts. But we do have somewhat of a channel here that we can keep our eye on. And I'm going to just mark that with the colors I like to use for the channels. Okay, so back to this 4-hour head and shoulders pattern. So if this is a head and shoulders pattern, that would be the right shoulder. This is the left shoulder, and of course this is the head. Okay, and then the neckline would have been here. Okay, so, and I marked my head and shoulders patterns in the dark blue. So if that's the case, then the target of the head and shoulders is down here at 36.94. Didn't make it to the target yet, but retraced to the neckline. So that's where we're sitting right now. It's where we closed Friday. It's on the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern, the style that I don't really care for. Now here's the thing we're not going to know until the market opens on Sunday and we get some movement from the market, is what's going to happen here. Are we going to go ahead and continue up through this neckline, or are we going to form, is this just a neckline test and we're going to head back down to this 36.94 area? That's kind of what I'm suspecting, but until I see some price movement on Sunday, I don't really have a clue. But what I'm going to be looking for is, when the market opens Sunday, I'm going to be looking at this CCI 31. If this zero line is rejected Sunday night and the CCI flips down, I'm going to assume then that this is a neckline test, and this was a valid head and shoulders pattern, and I'm going to be looking to go short for a test of the target around 36.94 area. Okay, so that kind of coincides with the 50 EMA on the daily chart, which is what I've kind of anticipated last week of testing. So that's what I'm going to be looking for when the market opens on Sunday night. Now, that would be for the short side of this scenario, is that 4-hour head and shoulders pattern. But I like to also think about the long side, because the market is the market. It'll do what it wants. You just have to follow it. If it decides to go long, you got to go long. But you got to find a place to go long at. If it decides to go short, you got to go short. Okay, so now looking at this 4-hour chart, we have this 50 EMA here. So are we going to be fooled by, okay, this is the neckline, test of the neckline down here to, you know, the target? Or are we going to be fooled by that and only test the 50 EMA, which comes in around 38.64, and continue up from there? Because remember that we still are in this euro dollar daily ABC long and have not reached the target yet. So we have to come over here to the 1-hour chart. Alright, looking at the 1-hour chart, we see a possible formation of an inverse head and shoulders pattern. We have a right shoulder and we have the head, but we don't have a left shoulder. Well, if price comes down and makes a left shoulder or a right shoulder around equal to the left shoulder, that's going to put us right about the 3860 area, which is the 4-hour 50 EMA. So here's what I'm going to be watching. I'm probably not going to do anything right when the market opens. I'm going to watch and see what happens. If I get a pullback to this 3860 level and I form a right shoulder, then I'll wait for a break and a close above the neckline to go long. Okay. That'll give me an idea that, okay, this is definitely, we're going to go long now. We're back into the longs, and we're going to shoot for the 42 or the 4034 area there. Okay, so this is where I'm really going to be watching price action at. Now, if I get a 1-hour close below this Eurodollar 1-hour chart, 50 EMA and the 4-hour 50 EMA, I'm going to give it some time and I'm going to let it move down, pull back, and trade the ABCs to the short side, targeting this head and shoulders target. Okay? But if I remain above this 3860 area and I form a right shoulder, then I'm going to wait for a close above the neckline and start trading longs. So I hope I made that clear. And that's just what I'm thinking on Saturday morning. It's not what I'm going to do 100%. I need to see what's going on Sunday when the market starts moving. But that just kind of seems a little logical to me for the time being. Things could definitely change come Sunday. And once the market starts moving and stuff Sunday, I'll do an analysis. But one thing I did want to mention too is, as we know, the market changes minute by minute, and I may see a pattern just like this 4-hour chart, and in my analysis I may say, target's down here, I'll be looking for that target. Well, I might be in and out of 5 trades on smaller time frames in order to get me to that target. Okay, or I may see on another time frame a sign that's telling me, hey, this is going to reverse and I'm short, I'm up a few pips, I'm getting out right now because this is going to reverse. I see some signs on the dollar index, which I don't do a lot of analysis on the website on the dollar index, but it is a huge part of my analysis. And I may see different things that are telling me it's going to reverse, get out of the trade, or it's going to reverse, don't get in a trade. And the only way for you to know that is if you hang out in the chat room, because I do post some updates in there. It's a free chat room. If you want to go in there and hang out, when I see signs of, this could reverse right here, I'll put that in the chat room. If you're short, beware, this could reverse here. So, and the only way for you to know that is to be in the, hang out in the chat room. So I just wanted to mention that. And, the market changes minute by minute, and so do our trades. If we're in short and we're thinking we're going down here, and the market changes, the dollar index changes, something happens in the economy, disaster happens, anything like that happens, price can reverse. So, and when I see those things, I'll stick them out in the chat room. But, okay, so this is just my thoughts. I'm just putting out here my thoughts on Saturday morning, what I'll be looking for on Sunday. And then I'll do an analysis on Sunday night, most likely. Okay, this is March 12th, 2011.